You don't lose interest. You lose it the moment they choose you, and you don't control it. It happens before you can explain it. They start replying faster. They show up more. They make it clear they want you, and something inside you goes quiet. You feel it. A drop. The excitement isn't there. The tension is gone. Even their messages feel different. Nothing changed about them, but the way you feel did. So you start pulling back. You take longer to reply. You feel less present. You notice things that suddenly bother you, and it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels automatic, like something in you already knew this wouldn't last. And most people think that's just losing interest. But it isn't that simple, because the shift doesn't happen when something goes wrong. It happens when everything starts to feel certain. This isn't about you being inconsistent. It's not about commitment issues. It's not about you getting bored too easily. And it's not because you just haven't met the right person. It also doesn't mean you're incapable of connection. Most people experience this. That moment where interest fades right when things start to feel real. Where everything should feel easier, but somehow it feels flatter, less intense, less alive. And it creates a quiet confusion, because nothing actually went wrong. They didn't change. The situation didn't collapse. But your response did. And that's the part that doesn't make sense. Because if the connection was real, why does it weaken the moment it becomes certain? You notice it in small ways. You reply, but not right away. You leave a message unread a little longer than you need to. You feel less urgency to see them, less pull. When they text, you look at it and put your phone down. Not because you're busy, just because you start focusing on details. The way they talk, the way they laugh, things that didn't bother you before. You feel slightly irritated, slightly distant. You don't lean in anymore. You lean back. Your body feels heavier around them, slower. You check your phone more often, even when nothing is there. You think about other options, other people, other possibilities. You imagine leaving before anything even happened. And when they get closer, you feel the need to create space. Not dramatically, not consciously, just small movements. A delayed reply, a canceled plan, a shift in tone. And suddenly something that felt intense feels quiet, flat, almost like it disappeared. This isn't random. And it's not just losing interest. Something else is happening. What you felt in the beginning wasn't just attraction. It was tension, uncertainty, distance, the possibility of loss, something not fully available. And your system learned to read that as intensity, as value. But when they choose you, that tension disappears. Nothing to guess, nothing to chase, nothing to lose. And without that, something in you goes quiet, not because they became less, but because the signal changed. What once felt alive now feels certain. Certainty feels flat, so you start pulling back. Not to leave, but to feel something again, to recreate the distance, the uncertainty, the tension, because that's what made it feel real. So the problem isn't that you lose interest. It's that interest was tied to something unstable from the beginning. And once that instability disappears, so does the feeling. And if what you feel depends on distance, on uncertainty, on something almost slipping away, then what exactly are you responding to? When you say you like someone, and what happens when they finally stay?